Blessings, and welcome to Travel the Right Path. This time, we're gonna take you to the cave without a name. We're gonna take a tour with one of the staff members and listen to the history of this cave.
In the 1920s, when ranchers out here noticed steam coming up around a big rock that used to sit on top of that hole, they got curious about that and moved the rock. Once they moved the rock, a goat fell in here, so the first people that we know of that went down in here went down to remove the body of that poor goat. Soon after that, some moonshiners found this place. They decided this was a perfect place to make whiskey during Prohibition, so they were making whiskey right down here for the last few years of Prohibition, and it wasn't until after Prohibition was over that some kids snuck in here. They were the first ones to go beyond where the still was and find the big part of the cave. They eventually told people what they had found, got in big trouble, and then people started coming out here and exploring the cave with ropes and ladders. Then in 1938, a photographer came out here. He took some nice pictures of the cave. He showed them to his friends in San Antonio. One of the people that he showed was a man named Jimmy Horn. Jimmy Horn came out here, fell in love with the place, probably using wood to cook it with. And again, these guys weren't too interested in exploring. They were more interested in drinking, so it wasn't until after Prohibition was over that those kids snuck in here. They were the first ones to go beyond where the still was, right about there, and down into this pit. And if you can imagine what this pit looked like without the stairs in it, and you look right down here, you can see what those kids would have had to climb down and back up to get in and out of here. We've gotten to when they got down here, and when they got down here, this hole in front of me didn't exist. This was blasted in later when they developed the cave, but this little hole over here on the right did exist. This is where they had to dig out some dirt and rocks and crawl through there and out into that big room. But we're not going to go that way. We're going to go straight ahead. Be careful on this floor. It's a little bit slippery. And if you look up here in the ceiling, you can see some of these upper level passages. We've never put anybody up in these because it would just cause too much damage trying to get up there, so we just leave these alone. But this cave has a lot of upper level passages back in the wilderness part of the cave, so it's not out of the question that one of these days cave explorers could find their way into these and look down from up there, but it hasn't happened yet. And some beautiful draperies. Here's a drapery waterfall. Another really nice one over here that turns into a spiral-shaped stalactite. And if you can't see that one, this one over here makes a nice spiral too. And then these things are called bell canopies. There's 3 of them in this room. There's this one here. There's one back behind you that looks like a T-Rex getting ready to bite something. And then there's one way.
Kalau kita ada pizza. Não sei que eu vou.
All right, so this is where we have concerts. We have this big old stage, and we have 200 chairs, and so 200 people sitting down here. Pretty much fills up this space. and it sounds amazing. You can see one of the highest ceilings in the cave, that's 65 or 70 feet. And not too long ago, a friend of ours ran ground penetrating radar over the top of this and found out that at the very top, it's only about 6 feet from the surface. So that's kind of exciting. And then over here on the left is the Texas-sized cave bacon. That's a beautiful thing. And then over here on the right is another really nice translucent drapery. You can see the light shining through it from the side. And some more recently uncovered dams. It used to be filled with gravel and packed down solid, just like what you're standing on. Over the last several years, volunteers have been working on cleaning this stuff out, and it looks much better without the ground. And mapped for well over 2 miles beyond here. This is the 7th longest cave in Texas, 5.7 kilometers, which is like 3.5 miles, and there's probably still a lot more to find in here. And to give you an idea of how high the water hits in here, here's the high water mark.